Welcome to the quietest ones in the room with your host, Trey. Wait, hold up, it's got to be said. Just the mere fact that you clicked onto this video and you were listening to the sound of my voice. You, by far, are the most intelligent people on the face of the planet. So once again, thank you. Let's state the facts. A lot has happened and a lot is about to happen. Heads are spinning. News is moving at a fast clip with all the information coming out of politics. It's getting crazy out here. And I stumbled into kind of a mini series that I'm going to continue with this individual I'll bring up shortly. It started with Joy Reid. I'm sure you're familiar with her. If you aren't, you can look her up. Next was Halle Berry. And now we're going to talk about who I call the Justin Trudeau of U.S. politics. And his name is Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is in the news for coming out recently and saying that he will be starting a podcast of authenticity, a podcast that will get to the root of the questions that you have as voters. Your problems, your issues, your angst will be addressed by Gavin Newsom. Now let's back up for a second. We have to understand that Gavin Newsom is a talented politician. People look at him and they say, "My God, that guy looks smart. My God, that guy looks like he comes from some money. My God, he looks like he has it all together." And he plays well off of this. And so he's come out, as I mentioned, and he said he's going to be doing a podcast. And people are questioning, well, oh my God, is Gavin Newsom's podcast going to be successful? Of course it is. Gavin Newsom is going to be able to ride the wave of the algorithm. People at YouTube are going to give him the cue cards, the special words that he needs to say so he can ride the algorithm of the week, of the day, of the month. See, Gavin Newsom is taking advantage of a playbook that the right does use, and now he's trying to get his voice heard, his political agendas heard in this new format as a podcaster. And let's be honest, it's not going to be incredible. It's going to be tons of activity in terms of viewership and comments, unless they cut the comment section off, which I would probably imagine at some point they would, especially if you get into controversial topics. But let's just realize that given that we live in a society where you can fake views, you can fake likes, and bots can comment, the truth of the matter is, from my perspective, that this Gavin Newsom podcast will be a joke, but it will be a very popular joke. It will be touted at some point maybe as one of the most successful podcasts in podcasting, and he's going to be able to bring on some controversial guests that tip the needle towards interest by people who would otherwise not pay attention to Gavin Newsom and what he has to say. But let's think about this. While he's focused on a podcast and he's going to be generating revenue, I'm certain, from this podcast, because look, when you're a YouTuber, you get bread. Has he devoted those monies to the people in California who are struggling from the fires that took place in the state? Does podcasting keep Gavin Newsom from focusing on what the fuck he needs to focus on, which is the interest of the constituents of California who have experienced devastation? Look, it's going to take at least a decade or more to rebuild those areas that were devastated by the fires. It's going to take at least $1 trillion+. And where's that money going to come from? You would hope that if Gavin Newsom is doing a podcast and he's getting some revenue, that he would say to himself, you know, I'm going to be the largest donator to the people that I am responsible for in the state of California. That's what I'm going to do. But no, either this is an opportunity for Gavin Newsom to get richer, which he's already rich, or it's an opportunity for him to get in front of the public and run for president in 2028, or who knows. But it to me, it's a interesting matter in terms of, as I mentioned, the tragedies that have been taking in place with California as it just simply regards to the natural disasters. But then you have issues with crime, you have businesses fleeing the state, you have people who are unable to afford the lifestyle in California, you have so much inequality. And Gavin Newsom has decided that he wants to do a podcast. So, hey, I wish him the best. I wish Gavin Newsom the best. I hope that he finds the right source. And I know the people in California who could do this for him. But I hope he finds the right source of people who can give him those fake views, those fake likes, and those bots that comment in the comment section and make him look glorious. Because the truth of the matter is, that's not at all, as a politician, where he can really touch the people. He should really do grassroots. He should really go door to door. He should really be in the community day in and day out. But no, he'll spend time having some other people do some research for him to bring up topics that he can discuss for his podcast. He'll half-ass it. It'll look like it's doing great in the media. CNN, MSNBC, Washington Post, drugs. It'll be all over the liberal media how powerful and impactful it is, and how they figured out how to capture what was lost in 2024 regarding politics and the left and the right. And he's going to be able to hoard a whole host of people to his side because he's been so authentic and vulnerable and anti-Trump. He's going to stand on his podcast against Donald Trump, aka to him, aka known as Hitler. He's going to stand against him, and he's going to win in 2028. Not against Trump, unless Trump's going to go for a third term. But whoever the candidate is on the right, he's going to position himself as the voice of reason for the people. And I don't think it's going to work because I think people are tired of these rich politicians playing as if they are authentic and they understand the plight of the everyday average person who can barely pay their bills, who have to do ends and odd jobs just to make ends meet, who can barely afford childcare, just the basic necessities of life. Governor Gavin Newsom doesn't get it, and he never will. All he is here to do at this point in politics is to be a shiny object with no real depth. So anyway, please share your thoughts in the comment section, like and subscribe. And as always, you let me know your thoughts regarding Gavin Newsom and his podcast that he wants to start. And as always, until next time.